number 8 Division Street. Russo's waiting for me. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Frank,
how are you?
Good to see you.
Great.
Thanks for stopping in.
Glad to be here. What a beautiful place you have here. Oh, it's beautiful. You got it really set up beautifully. 2 years ago, I saw you. I was interested in some property in New Rochelle, and that was before a lot of the development went on.
Sure.
And you showed me a map back then.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at one of the maps I had. I've just been going through some old paperwork. This one was almost from 3 years ago now, and it's really exciting to see. What we did was we pointed out that we felt in the next 3 to 5 years we could have, potentially 2,000 new residents here in the downtown. So you have to realize when I came up here 5 years ago, the Davenport Lofts here, which is what I call the Lipitz test, was really the first condo here on Main Street to be developed. And I'd like to say, based on the success we had, 5 other new developments followed. I was also lucky enough to work, I think when I met you 2 years ago, on what a lot of people know is the old Lillian Vernon site, 543 Main Street.
Right.
And that was an exciting time too, because again, we were still early in the game when we had the first 80 units sold, and midway into the project, it was a pretty big announcement when Trump announced his plan to develop a parcel on Huguenot.
Yeah, and that was just an announcement then, and now the building is up, and
60% sold already, which I think is a great accomplishment.
That's fantastic. In fact, I think I saw a brochure here when I was in here earlier with Trump Plaza. I'd just like to show the viewers a shot of this building. It's gorgeous. And, we'll take a walk outside later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, this 543 Main Street, is that where you live?
I actually live across the street at the Davenport Lofts. A lot of people, again, remember the Davenport as the old Bloomingdale's department store.
Right.
And the apartments are really incredible. They range from, I would say, 900 to over 1,700 square feet. Many of the units are set up as live workspaces. So it's really exciting to see the people that bought here 5 years ago happy with their investments. I think that real estate is a great opportunity, more so than ever here in New Rochelle.
So if these people bought 2 or 3 years ago, they would have already experienced a lot of the appreciation.
Respects, a lot has happened. Unfortunately, when you walk down Main Street, it's not easy to see with the naked eye. But I'll tell you, not to segue into commercial real estate, but depending on who you speak to, you'll hear things about the market. I'll tell you that just in the past year, we've been able here in the downtown on the smaller spaces, we're getting almost $30, $35 a foot, which is a far cry from 2 years ago. We were looking at stuff at $15 a foot.
It's amazing.
So apparently something's going on.
So there probably isn't that much foot traffic yet, but everyone is expecting it. Well, because of many new people living here, right?
I'm blue in the face, at least for the past 5 years, when you put 4,000 young professionals in a 4-block radius,
right,
you start to attract the retailers that,
and there's such easy access.
To see.
Easy access to New York City. They can walk out of their building and go right on the train.
My age, I'll tell you, I'm 35 years young, and I grew up in Manhattan my whole life, and I can tell you, in my life, I was fortunate enough to see areas of Manhattan go through a gentrification, and now there's really not any area in the city that's really affordable. Years ago, you used to be able to go downtown, or
right.
My last project in the city was on the Bowery. It's affectionately called Nolita now.
Right.
But I've noticed that the same type of people that were attracted to downtown are the people that have purchased here in New Rochelle. I think Trump's building, I think we're quick to forget how excited we were 2 years ago when he announced his plan to develop. But besides his residential tower, Trump Plaza, he's working with Louis Capelli to develop, I believe it's a 39-story tower in front of the post office.
Is that the LeCount Square development?
LeCount Square development. I think part of the component there is going to be a hotel.
And in one of Mayor Bramson's newsletters, there's a summary of, they pointed out some of these, and there's the photo of that.
I think the most exciting prospect that we have for the downtown is going to be Simone's development. which is going to be, I believe, 42 stories. And that's right here on the corner of Main and Division.
That's the church division?
That's the church division development. So again, you're going to have, you know, a couple of thousand people living in the downtown in the next 2 years. But I've been really lucky in the past few weeks to work with some big retailers. We're starting to get phone calls from people like Whole Foods and some of the bigger names everybody would probably know. I mean,
now, is that a rumor about Target?
I don't think it's a rumor.
Moving in possibly to New Rock City?
I know a broker firsthand who was getting phone calls from them. But it was a couple of weeks ago, I heard from a broker, and he had somebody from Whole Foods that was expressing interest in the neighborhood. You know, Whole Foods came up here, I think, about 2 years ago to do a demographic study. Unfortunately, to make it feasible, some of these new developments would need to be built.
Right.
But, you know, in the past 5 years, I've seen a tremendous change in New Rochelle, and I'm looking forward to seeing the bigger changes in the next 5 years as we get the bigger retailers in here.
Now, New Rochelle is beautifully located, right? It's only a mile. It's actually right on Long Island Sound.
And that's one of the beauties of it, you know, growing up in the city, to have that mixture of urban and suburban, you know, it was really appealing to me. What's also, you know, in terms of location, really perfect about the developments in downtown is that they're only probably 3 city blocks, maybe less from the train station. And you know, I would say 98% of the 200 people that I've sold to on Main Street are working in the city. So, you know, 32 minutes to Grand Central is...
Now, the people you've sold to probably are very happy. They're probably telling their friends and relatives. And that's word of mouth is probably very strong about this.
Word of mouth is the best thing, I think, in New Rochelle. I think part of the challenge... I moved up here about 5 years ago from the city. Again, I mentioned I live in the Davenport. And what's really interesting to see is a New Rochellian's perspective on the area. I kind of feel when you live up here, it's like watching grass grow. But if you could take you know, the perspective from an outsider, you'd be really excited if you were up here 5 years ago and you've seen what's come to fruition.
I've been a New Rochelle resident myself for about 50 years,
right,
or 45 years, I should say. And there's been a lot of changes, a lot of changes.
It'd be a great idea, Frank, if you have a minute. Maybe we could walk to the corner.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Look at what I think are the key new developments.
Very good.